So, who do we think is the best signing of all time? We're going to go for the Premier League. Who do you think's the best Premier League signing of all time? Oh, I'd be tempted to go European.
Well, you do what you want, mate. I've got mine.
You got yours. Go on. You start us off then.
So I'd give you a couple minutes to just think of who you're going to pick. Cause,
I've got two people that we'll talk about, but
so for me, based on not only the impact he had as a player, but also the fact that he's now managing the team and just basically an absolute Premier League legend.
Yeah,
Frank Lampard. I think signing him from. So I had a little look up of what the actual figure was. 11 million from signing him from West Ham.
Absolute steal that is.
He's just unreal, isn't he?
Well, yeah,
he scored 160 or 70 odd goals
from centre mid.
He was, a leader for him. He's won loads of trophies with them. Obviously, like Premier League, I think, is it 2 or 3 times? Maybe.
Yeah, a handful
Champions
of FA
League,
Cups. Champions League
once, I think.
Europa League?
He's just,
was he in that?
No idea.
Or was that too late for him?
He went to Man City for a bit, didn't he? But
oh yeah.
I just think, if you've got someone like Frank, you think now, if you had Frank, even if Frank Lampard in his prime was in your team,
yeah,
you're bound to just be a top team, one of the top teams in that league,
yeah,
regardless of what league you're in.
Yeah,
he's just such an influential person.
Mm-hmm.
He's very commanding, technically unreal. And I just say, he's now sort of producing his actual, his own personal skills into now, his Chelsea team are now thriving, and they're all young academy players.
Yeah,
which I mean,
it's the transfer ban, isn't it? Because they didn't have the.
I feel like they've sort of got forced into it. However, I'm surprised that they didn't actually do it earlier because it talks about Ajax's youth team being unreal. Chelsea are exactly the same. They just get really good young players, loan them out, and then they just end up being sold, and it's just for them to actually now use the resources that they have, it's actually worked in their favour, and they should have just done it ages ago.
I remember when Ruben Loftus-Cheek first played for Chelsea, and I was like, this guy is quality.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't his career hasn't exploded yet.
Well, I think he got injured,
I think
didn't he?
Quality.
I can only assume he's injured. Why he wouldn't be playing?
Doesn't he play for another team now? No, I don't know.
I thought he was still at Chelsea.
Potentially.
Yeah, okay.
But seeing him play for the first time, I was like, he's insane.
So he's quality.
But then Lampard, as a player, on the pitch, insane. Did everything for his team possible. Off the pitch as well. I feel like a young lad in England growing up whilst Frank Lampard was playing, he was one of the best role models out there.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's a massive icon to a lot of players. I've only really started playing midfield in the past year maybe, or this season probably. But I've always been a striker. So obviously when I was growing up, as a Newcastle fan, I was always looking at Shearer and
Sammy Ameobi.
World class. Shola.
No Ranger.
But always my best mate's a Chelsea fan, so I always sort of, I guess, followed Chelsea in a way. And obviously you had players like Drogba who were unreal, and you had Czech who did a really good service for him over 6-7 years. John Terry, another world class player. See, I don't know. I assume he was through their youth team. I don't actually know.
John Terry.
But again, if they signed him from somewhere, he would be another signing of all time, because again,
don't know.
Leader.
Yeah,
legend,
captain.
But obviously Lampard taking over as manager now. I just the actual service he's done to Chelsea themselves. It's not just about obviously his playing career, but obviously his managerial career as well.
Yeah. So you've chosen someone who had a massive span of playing for a club and was signed for a small amount of money and produced years and years of content for them.
Yeah.
I'm picking someone who joined towards the tail end of their career and just produced one season of pure madness. And that man left Arsenal and joined Manchester United, and his name was Robin van Persie. Now,
and what a season it was.
Was an insane season for the whole team.
Yeah.
And, you know, when that signing came in, I thought to myself, I'm not too sure about this, because we had Wayne Rooney, we had a number of other players that were kind of fighting in that position. But Van Persie coming in, to me, didn't make sense, because
I guess it's kind of like one of those, you know, Cavani, Falcao, Zlatan
sort
those
of
sorts
things.
of transfers. You sort of think they're getting on. Are they really gonna? Because he must have been what 31, 32 or something
around that, yeah,
maybe 30. I don't know,
maybe 30. But like the big one for me was he's coming from Arsenal.
Yeah.
Why have we got someone coming from Arsenal? It's like when Danny Welbeck went to Arsenal, I was like, your career's dead, mate.
Yeah.
Like, you've gone from United to Arsenal, you're done for. I didn't understand why we'd signed an Arsenal striker. And I remember, what was I watching?
You then got reminded of that sort of thought when Alexis Sanchez came over. And
Alexis Sanchez did absolutely nothing. So like,
maybe it's just a one-off.
It was a massive one-off. Van Persie was one of a kind. But I remember watching something recently, and I think it was Gary Neville talking about things that have changed over the years in football, and he's talking about nutrition and that sort of thing, and then he starts talking about a player that managed to play for longer than they should have, and that was Van Persie.
Yeah.
And he said, I remember when Van Persie joined, and we got an absolute rollicking from Sir Alex Ferguson, because Van Persie joined the club and we weren't passing to him.
Right.
Because we were so used to playing these little short balls in between players off Wayne Rooney and all that jazz, and we weren't putting the balls over the top through to Van Persie. He said then, 2 weeks later, Wayne gets the ball on the halfway line, looks up and sees Robin making that run.
Yeah.
Robin's been making that run all season, but we've not actually picked him out.
Yeah.
We worked on it in training. Rooney picks it up, looks up, sees Van Persie going, pings it, and scores the most iconic goal of that season.
Yeah.
That volley was impeccable.
You see the happiness in his eyes.
It was insane. Like, I remember watching it recently and seeing that goal, and I was like,
not even these lights just glistening. This is just pure joy.
This is all coming at me. I'm radiating it. So like, it was one of those moments that I was like, that's why we bought him.
Yeah.
And then he went on. His season was just insane. He scored
like
a stupid
20
amount of
goals or something.
Yeah,
or
he
20...
won the Premier League that year.
Yeah.
Which made Arsenal fans
bitter.
Very bitter.
AF.
I'm pretty sure it started Arsenal Fan TV.
Probably.
That season was probably around the same time as Arsenal Fan TV kicked off.
Robbie completely lost his head.
Yeah. But for me, that is the Premier League signing of all time, because they needed someone to take them to the next level to win that Premier League. Fergie saw a player, bought a player, utilised that player, and the result was winning the Premier League.
So do you say that's more of a reflection of Fergie or Robin Van Persie?
Van Persie and Fergie. Like, Fergie for seeing what he needed, doing something about it, following it through, getting the result. Van Persie for not trying to mould to United's play style and staying with his own play style and being like, no, this is how I play football, I can get results, and showing them that that's how he does it, and then it worked out.
I suppose the one thing that is different, obviously there's a lot different between our choices, but the main one is the fact that obviously Lampard's had so many years with Chelsea, and he's had so much success because of all the trophies that he's won.
Yeah.
Van Persie's obviously playing for Arsenal, been very close on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
To then finally get that Premier League title at Man United is just that sort of cherry on
yeah,
top.
I mean, in that year as well, he also revamped his international career.
Right.
Because that's the year he scored that diving header.
Yeah, from
that one.
Daily Plym, wasn't it?
Yeah, that diving header. Like, I don't know, I feel like that's such a success story on a short time frame. Yours is such an iconic story over a long time frame. Another one I want to throw in the ring.
So I was going to say, what was your You said one or two, so
my other one that I want to throw in the ring, because I think this man, when he turned up to a certain club, so you talk about Real Madrid, you talk about the Galacticos and all that jazz, you got Zidane, you've got people that go down in history as being iconic players for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
When Cristiano Ronaldo left Manchester United and joined Real Madrid, it gave that feeling back again. I feel like there have been a couple of years at Real Madrid where we didn't have that feeling for a while because certain people weren't playing for them anymore.
So the more you think about it, the more like the number of signings that you sort of think of just keeps like
Van Dijk. You could put him on the table, couldn't you, as best signing of all time?
But I was just thinking players like Wayne Rooney from Everton to Man United.
Yeah.
Like, the service that he had, you know. Alan Shearer from Blackburn to Newcastle.
Yeah.
He didn't do as much as other players, however, he's still the leading Premier League goal scorer, you know.
And he's the most iconic Newcastle player of all time.
Well, yeah.
Apart from Alan Smith and Lee Bowyer.
Eric Cantona.
Yeah.
To Man United, you know, the years that he sort of created, and you know, like you say, Ronaldo.
Yeah. Rio Ferdinand from Leeds to Man United.
Yeah, there's just so many. Like, didn't really think about it, but like, I think I would still stick with Lampard purely because of the managerial side as well.
Yeah, I think I would probably go for. I wanted to do Robin van Persie because it was completely contrasting to your opinion.
Yeah.
But I think Ronaldo to Real Madrid, just for the sheer size of it all and the wow factor of it all, that was a weird transfer window.
And then he's gone and scored 450 goals for him. So
insane. He's won won everything under the sun. Player of the year, not multiple times.
Yeah.
He's something
still,
special.
in my opinion, the best player ever.
Yeah.
I would argue that I would rather have him than Messi in my team.
Yeah, 100%. But also, I would say, I think we're going back 2 seasons now. Not last year, the year before, 2018 Champions League. I'm still going to stand by this point because I was watching. This is all coming from me watching a video the other day.
Yeah.
Of the best goals of that season, and they put Ronaldo's overhead kick. Oh no, it wasn't that season. It was Champions League in general over the last decade.
Right.
They put Ronaldo's overhead kick in the semi-final above Gareth Bale's overhead kick in the final. Nah. Gareth Bale's overhead kick in the final is better than Ronaldo's in the semi-final.
Yeah, your first sort of argument on it is the fact that it is the final.
Yeah. And it was out of favour. Zinedine hates me, Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
Doing that and winning them the
Wales Golf Madrid in that order.
Yeah, Wales Golf Madrid. But that I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, fair.
That goal is better than Ronaldo's. Anyway,
and
we're
my
gonna
goal's better than Gareth Bale's.
Yours didn't
which
happen.
is now going to be put in.
this goal will never get put. I'm gonna insert the clip, Matt, of you scoring that penalty last season.
No, but it's not as impressive. So
no. It was just slotted bottom corner. Right, so
before we move on, because we don't do this enough,
go on.
I want to know what everyone else's transfer of
all time is.